All right, 23.1, this is our tips and tricks from Mayhem Athlete. We're gonna have myself, Jake, talk you through some strategy. We're gonna have Pamela talk to you about some movement stuff in the gymnastics portion. Sage Bergener in there to talk to you about the clean, and then AJ and Jake will wrap it up with a little bit of warm up, a little bit of cool down stuff. So here we go. All right, 23.1 is a repeat of what?
14.4.
If you're a Mayhem Athlete, you're welcome. Jake, good job. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, somebody
Friday.
said, hey, you should redo that. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. So I guess I will be now.
You will be.
All right, we'll talk a couple strategy things that we think are pretty valuable, and then we'll actually show you some stuff on movement as we go. Refer to the CrossFit Games website for dimensions. I think there has to be 8 feet between some stuff. We don't have that here. This is not to scale, so remember that. I think from what I remember, it's been a long time, smooth on the row. Obviously, you know, if you're a really good rower, then maybe you try to make up some time there. But for me, kind of smooth, especially on the first row. A pace that you would do if you had to do, you know, 500 meters in a workout, because it's going to work out to about that, maybe a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more, probably about 600 and 650 meters ish.
Yeah, maybe it depends, maybe a little more depending on how powerful you're on the rower. Like he said, if you want to think about it, like
you're going to be on the rower for 2.5 minutes probably.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3, a little more. If you know your 3K time, that's impressive to know that. Yeah. That'd be a similar time domain, like a 2-mile run. So if you came up for a 2-mile run, the first like 30 seconds, get the jitters out and then settle in.
Settle in.
He's saying for the rest.
You don't want to be the first one off the rower in your heat, because it probably will not bode well unless you're really fit. So I say that also to say if you're really good at rowing, go ahead and use that if that's your movement, if you're tall, if that's something that you can really hammer home. Next, the toes to bar. So you want to save a little bit of grip. You know, try to relax that grip as much as you can. Use your grips on the rower.
Big leg drive.
Big leg drive, finish with the arms. On the toes to bar, manageable sets. Do not ever go to failure. Do not ever go to where you think, oh, I can only do 2 or 3 more. Hit something relatively comfortable. If you start slowing down or start feeling a little bit of grip fatigue, come down, shake it out.
I liked back in the day, I think I remember I did 8 and 7s and even some 5s, but it was really fast. And I was like, good, not great, like you're an anomaly. Don't do over like half your max rep set. I'm
thinking for me, I would probably, this is a rep scheme I've done before doing 50 reps, 20 reps, 20 reps, 15 reps, then 8 and 7. That 8 and 7, I could probably do 15 unbroken, but there's no need to do that. Quick break, shake the hands out, flush it out a little bit because you got some grip coming up after that with the cleans. And so from there, you got 50 done. Like I said, do not go to failure at any point in that workout.
Even if you do 5 on the 15 or 20, you're gonna finish under a few minutes. So as long as you're disciplined about getting back quickly, whether if you're big sets, you can take a little more break, but if you're small sets, like I'm gonna go, I'm just gonna watch that clock and be on my pace.
Yep. From there, we got wall balls. So wall balls, it's kind of a tricky part of this workout. It's kind of a, you know, you could probably do 40 unbroken, Think about when you're doing your wall balls, use the legs like Jake was saying on the row, because you're gonna need your shoulders here in a minute when you get to those muscle ups. Try to relax your grip every once in a while. Wall balls sometimes surprisingly get a little bit grippy because you are grabbing that ball each time, so think about that. You can do the little arm out thing, but like we said, focus on the legs, drive out of that bottom, and then just kind of let your arms take over at the end.
Yeah, for sure, big leg drive on the wall ball. Still warm up your squat beforehand, like don't get lazy with that. It's the most like minimal part of the workout probably, of time and like effort, but I like wall balls. I'm still gonna do 2 sets, and if it's intimidating at all, you can drop it one more time, just pick it up quick, and then that'll help control your heart rate. Don't feel like you gotta do one huge set if it's not your thing there, because power cleans is a big bulk of this workout right after.
If you're gonna do 2 sets, just my opinion, try to get over halfway. So do like 22 or 18, 22 and 18 or 25 and 15. It's always hard if you do 20 and then you got to do 20 again. So just think about that. That's just something we like to do.
3 sets, same idea, like do like 15, 15, 10.
Yeah.
Don't do like 13, 13, I'm talking about 14.
13 and a half, 13 and a half, 13 and a half. Yeah, so wall balls are, I don't want to say they're non-existent because I think they're going to get your heart rate up way more than you want it to. It does for me. So be ready for that. Might be a little punch to come back to the cleans. I don't recommend doing touch and go.
Absolutely not. No one's doing touch and go. He won the workout in 2014 with all singles.
I think so. We'll have to go back and watch.
I think you maybe one set of 3 or 4, but
maybe, and
probably all
probably
singles.
Stupid. Think about if you are doing singles, if you have some plates at your gym that settle a little better than other plates, might not hurt to use them. We have some plates that we call dead stop plates at the gym, Rogue Echo plates. In these workouts, we use them at times. So be thinking about that. They settle real quick. You can reach back down, grab it, pick it up quick, just quick singles. Just keep moving, quick singles. Heart rate will get up here. Save that grip though. I think that touch and go, you might feel like you want to do a couple touch and go. You got to do 20 muscle ups after, don't do it. So singles, fast singles, be ready for that. A heart rate spike in there. We don't have our muscle ups hung right now. Pamela will talk to you a bunch about that. Manageable sets. I have to go back and look at what I did in the video. I feel like 3 sets maybe. I think, you know, 5s is not a bad play if you can do them quick 5s, or you know, like a 6-6, 4-4 or whatever it is. That would be a solid one.
If you're coming in not superstar, then I did singles here. I remember. Okay. We'll have a pacing guide actually for you guys. Like he'll go by Phil and do just like exactly what he should do. I need I'm gonna do a power clean every 5 seconds. I'm that much like stay on the ball with it, which helped me get there. I remember in 2014, like with 3, you're gonna need at least 3 minutes probably to finish the muscle ups if you're trying to finish the muscle ups. If not, you actually wanna blast these if you don't have any muscle ups because this will be a tie break time. So keep that in mind regardless of your strategy. You're probably quick singles. And then the thing here mentally is like, man, it's getting heart rate so high, like get to 5. Then you're gonna set back, and then like 5 more, get to 5. That's a good way to break it up in your head through the 30. But if you are gonna get muscle ups, like he's saying, like you can't empty the tank here, gotta have some left there. I think in 2014, I did like 3, 4, and then it went to like 2s, and the very end it went to 1s, and I still finished the muscle up. So as long as you have time there, and you can stay on the ball with the clock, like I'm just doing 2 every 15 seconds, or 3 every 20, 25, as long as you have time, you will finish the muscle ups.
If you get back to the row, it's time to send it.
Yep. A lot more.
As bad as that sounds, that's the time where you got to kind of make it hurt a little bit. Maybe hop on there. Don't sit here and just stare at it. Get moving.
Absolutely.
You're not getting any calories or anything done by just staring at it. At least if you hop on it, you know, after those muscle ups, your heart rate's going to be nice and jacked up. If you get through those, start rowing on that rower. It will start flushing a little bit stuff, and then it's time to kick it in a little bit. So be ready for that. But you should be somewhere around 11, 12 minutes by the time you get to there. So you might as well just leave it all out there. And then if you get back to the total bar, just hang on. One thing I do remember is almost falling off the pull bar. So be ready for that.
Full send, yeah. Full send plates back. You can't go there till the last minute. Once you're there though, it's just close your eyes, whatever. Get as many calories as you can. If you're on the muscle up, just stay cognizant enough to finish your rep, and you're squeezing out as much as possible. Wherever you are, just those last 30 seconds, full send it, whether you're power clean, muscle up, back to row, or whatever version you're doing.
Cool. I mean, I don't really think what do you want to demo? People know where to row. Think about on your damper. Maybe a little bit higher, nothing crazy.
I know we know it, but someone will want it.
Okay. Go ahead, Jake. I don't have to do anything. I'll just let you.
Okay.
What are you demonstrating here, Jake?
Just how they want to take a relaxed leg drive.
Okay. Damper setting. This is it's not a huge, like it's not a long distance, so you don't want to be around like 3. This is probably your mid-range damper. For us, probably 6.5, maybe around 7. Show us your legs, Jake.
4 or 5. So here, real beginner here. Super leg drive, then we're lean back, finish with the arms. You go back in and exact opposite. So arms, lean with the hips and legs. It sounds super simple, but 2 things to think about. It's almost like you're trying to stand up off that rower coming out.
It's almost like you're doing a clean on the rower.
Exactly. One more thing, it seems minor, is think about lat engagement as you're finishing with the arms and back in. And then if you send it straight back in, almost called like the pick drill, it's gonna keep a good cadence there. So this chain's staying nice and straight, you're not losing energy. And then one more big thing to think about on this rower, as you get dialed in 30 seconds in or more, is the cadence you're breathing with the rower. That'll keep your heart rate under control and something sustainable for the rest of the rower. But there's 1,000 videos on rowing out there, especially for the 3-4 minute time domain, that will be really applicable here.
Toes to bar?
Toes to bar.
Pamela will talk a little bit more efficiency stuff. I think you wanted to just talk about hand placement, maybe?
That and like how we do our grip thing.
Grips, yep, throw your grips over. We did not read anywhere in the rule book. I personally like to put my fingers through the holes on grips, and less for toes to bar. Okay. Toes to bar is the one thing that my hands don't move around. The more grippy it gets, I will actually get the palm of my hand a little bit onto the pull-up bar. Good thing I did 120 of these yesterday, just to get my abs good and loosened up for tomorrow.
So you will be able to feel, the big thing is you can feel this pulling on your wrist, so it saves your grip because that's gonna pull there and save your hand having to hold your weight. So then when you're up here like this, it'll look like it's flapped over, but it's really pulling on your top of your wrist instead of you having the death grip the bar, which will save you later.
And also if you wear a whoop, put the grip underneath the whoop.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah.
It don't fit me.
Yeah, it does, just slide the whoop up your arm a little bit.
There you go.
It's supposed to be higher up your arm anyway. Wall balls.
Knock out the rest.
Wall balls, like we said. Leg drive, the bottom of this target is 10 feet, by the way.
Oh.
Like I said, get those arms kind of like, if you move your arms out and kind of do that old school like swimming type, it does help a little bit if you need to. Or, you know, if 40 wall balls is nothing for you, keep those hands in. But I would try to do something, a little bit of something with your fingers, keep your hands moving, flush those forearms because you're gonna want that grip. This turns into this is a heart rate / grip workout. So no need in wasting on that. Like we said on the sets of wall balls, a little over half, finish the rest.
Just don't be lazy, like don't come up on your toes every single wall ball. Stay heels or midfoot planted the whole way. Arms underneath, I get here all the time, which blows up your shoulders.
Jake does the wall ball like this.
Only did that for like 10 years, so
he does the
took a while for him
flick
to
it
tell
up
me.
like this.
So if you stay under here, chest up, it's just gonna pay off in the power cleans.
Underwear. Power cleans, hook grip.
Coach B,
good
Sage,
set.
right there.
And then just pick it up and drop it. And dang. And there goes Jake's mic. You blew it.
Bye, Frank.
You blew it. If it'll even stay now. Yeah, so think about that. Sage will be in there. You can play around with different grips. If I'm doing lighter weight stuff, I do go a little bit wider. It's just shorter.
And
it's
your feet
like,
probably are staying similar stance.
Yep. Yeah, you don't really have to jump these out wide because it's not heavy. So it's more just up, down. The more efficient you can be, the better. Less work you have to do if you're doing this all the time. But the later it gets in the round and the more tired you are, you may drop a little bit lower. So if you need to step out, step out.
And actually power clean, even from rep 1, don't muscle clean any. It's not worth the extra energy.
No. Like I said, if you want to shorten the range of motion a little bit, widen out a little bit, you may have to drop a little bit lower to get into that position. But we don't have muscle ups, but
Pamela will cover them.
Pamela will cover them.
Full faith.
So cool. Well, Mayhem Athlete, check it out. We got more stuff. Like I said, Pamela's coming on next, then Sage, and then we got AJ and Jake to warm up and cool you down. So
got it. Get it.
Good luck.
Here we go, guys. We got warm up and cool down. I'm with my good buddy AJ. He's the athletic trainer for CrossFit and Mayhem. 931 Performance, good dude. What we're gonna show you is on screen or in the description. There's gonna be the overall warm up, which will like get you really ready to go aerobically. We're gonna make sure your heart rate gets up, cardiovascularly ready to go. And we'll go into a specific warm up to prep you for each of these movements here in that, and then a workout prep activation, so we call our Mayhem Athlete. We have app every day. So basically give that to you guys. What we're gonna do with AJ too is some extra bonus activation and mobility before the workout, depending on if you're like tight in your upper back, maybe you're tight in your hip, or you need some extra like lat activation. That's what we're thinking about today, what's specific to this workout. That's what we're gonna show you guys here. Also in the warm up, you're gonna see that crossover symmetry hip halo. We do that almost every workout, very applicable here. This is almost some add-on to give you some extra stuff to think about. Hey, how am I gonna help me open up from my toes to the bar, activate for that, on the rower, power cleans, muscle up, all those things. That's what we're thinking about here in this warm up for this portion specifically.
Yeah, sounds good. So first thing we're gonna go through, we're gonna get the thoracic spine to open up, okay? So what I'm gonna have Jake do is lay back on the bench here, on your back.
Oh yeah, other back.
Other back. So what I'm gonna have him do, I want him to press this low back down into the bench, so just like we're activating our core, I'm gonna have him bring his legs up into like a dead bug position, okay? arms straight up overhead like you've locked out a bench press. You can start wide if you want to, and then slowly increase your reps into your press or your hang grip. So with back flat, what we're gonna do, we're gonna work this barbell, use a PVC, use a broom, whatever you've got. Try to get into some extension here with the shoulders as long as it feels okay. Don't press past anything that you're able to do. Keeping this low back flat on the ground. This is gonna help open up that thoracic spine and kind of help prime these shoulders as well. Good with that?
Good.
Heck yeah. All right, let's come up out of that.
In case you're at home, you don't have a bench, you wanna show them the other variation on the ground?
Yeah, so kind of the same thing. If you don't have a bench, you can just lay back on the ground here. So same position, right? We're gonna have low back flat on the ground. This is gonna help bring the legs up, help the core activation. And then same thing here, we're running through this range of motion, almost like a pass through with a PVC pipe. Stop, obviously, when you hit the ground. Good.
Nice.
All right, next up, we're gonna come over here to the band. If you've got a heavier band will do, just kind of a moderate amount of tension on this band. Jake's gonna put his arm in, he's gonna come back, right leg's gonna go back behind him. And so what we're doing, we're getting a good lat stretch here as well. What we're gonna do is activate the shoulder blade, pull down, hold for about 5 seconds, and then he's gonna relax into that stretch. So best case here, maybe hit about 10 of these each arm if you're gonna run through this a couple times. Okay, so he's gonna get a good contract of that scap, pull down, hold, relax into that stretch. You should feel this thing opening up more as you go along. Very nice.
For sure. Only thing I didn't think about with that, you're gonna pull down and back, really like be emphasizing that with your shoulder blade coming down like AJ said. Then you can almost lean into that stretch more each time. It's gonna open up better and better, which is really gonna transfer into toes to bar, good hanging position. Same thing for the muscle ups there. On that one over there too, same idea. Also gonna help open up the thoracic for the power clean in a good wall ball position too.
Yep. All right, next up, let's do some lower body, okay? So we're gonna go hip in, leg, put this band high up on the thigh. He's gonna step out where there's a good amount of tension here, okay? So kind of double here. We're gonna get a good amount of distraction on this hip to help open this thing up for your rowing, for your wall balls, and really for your toes to bar as well. So hip here, I'm gonna have him work into some internal, external rotation, just finding some of those sticky points, holding there for a few seconds, and then opening it up into some external rotation. And then also on this other hip, if you think about squeezing the glute, you're gonna get some good extension on this opposite side over here as well. And this is really gonna be good for your toes to bar, okay?
Definitely. So we want to think about this, guys, just like AJ said, you have a good amount of tension there. It's almost going to feel like it's pulling your hip apart just a little bit. That's what we call that distraction. Really open up for the squat here. Be intentional about pushing that knee out here. You've all done this probably Spider-Man stretch or something similar, but work this in and out. Will help with that wall ball, that rowing position, and this will help open up with that leg extension. So you'll feel in that front side of the hip here. You'll do 30, 60 seconds will do a lot of good. I do this one every day actually. Then you'll flip around, same thing, other leg, same idea, both sides like that. So that'll knock out overhead prep, lat activation, some hip opening before the workout, get you going, and then you can move and flow into the rest of our warm up.
All right, Mayhem Athletes, it's all about toes to bar and ring muscle ups for the gymnastics portion of 23.1, which is a repeat chipper. Now remember, this is a very grip intensive chipper. So when you get to the toes to bar, I want you to do, unless you are an elite athlete, I would like you to do smaller sets, less rest. So if you're doing sets of 10s and 5s, make sure you come down, count 3, 2, 1, and go right back up. Remember, less is more. So if you're doing crazy big swings, it just means you're hanging on longer and you're going to wear your grip out. So tight tension, lots of tight ab work and shoulder work. When you get to the ring muscle ups, there are two schools of thought. One is get in a large chunk. If you only have 20 seconds on the clock, just get in as many as you can. If you have a little bit longer on the clock, I tend to like to break them up a little bit more. Maybe I'm doing sets of 2s and 3s, even going down to singles. I like to set up a box, two boxes in between the rings. So after I come down from each rep, I can just come here, shake it out, and then come back into my full hang. Now, if this is going to be your first ring muscle up, or you're very close, I recommend trying to get as much of a false grip as possible. Remember, you have to show lockout at the bottom, so you have to, if you flash out, that'll ensure that your elbows are locked out. Also, grip with your fingers. So we're gonna shimmy up that false grip. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna start in the front, and then hopefully I will be able to have less swing, more control to get my very first ring muscle up. If it is your first ring muscle up and you're trying to swing incredibly large, it's just terrifying. So try that false grip-ish. Make sure you flash out to make sure that elbows lock out. And I'm super excited to see how you guys do. If it is not your first ring muscle up, make sure you ensure that big overgrip position and get tight, efficient swing as you pull up into that ring muscle up. Good luck, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are here talking about 23.1. This is going to be your scaled demo. We've got our lovely assistant David Lane. He just completed the workout, and we've got some great tips for you to make sure you survive all the way to the end. So first thing you guys are going to be starting out is you've got 60 calories on the rower. On the rower, you guys want to make sure you set your damper setting to something you feel comfortable with, and most importantly, breathe. When we're going back, David's going to breathe out as he goes back, making sure he's hitting full extension, and stay relaxed here. If you guys get too caught up in trying to be the first one off the rower, you are definitely going to fall behind later. So find a pace that's moderate and get right above that and maintain the breathing throughout. When we finish that row, we're going to go ahead and hook ourselves in. We just hit 60, and now we have 50 of our hanging knee raise. So on our hanging knee raise, what we have here is that David's gonna get to a bar that he can hang in a dead hang from without feet on the floor, and he's gonna start that knee raise, bringing knees above his hip crease, just like that. David does a great job of utilizing a nice kip to this. If you guys don't have the kip, don't waste reps. We're gonna go into a strict knee raise. So we're gonna make it a little bit harder, and this is going to allow you to make sure that you're getting those knees clearly above every single time. Heels have to pass behind the bar on your reps if you're going through that. Go ahead and relax. Same thing here. Do not get on these knee raises and burn yourself out. So do manageable sets here, drop down, open up your core a little bit, hop back on that bar. If you feel like you can do a bigger set of kipping knee raise at the end of this 50, that's where you want to go for it. But do not do it at the beginning and be reduced to doubles and singles. Once we're done with that, we are moving on to the wall ball. So for the wall ball, we've got our target set up. Side note, if you guys are using a wall ball target at your gym, we have the bottom of our target set at the 10-foot mark. That makes sure that you clearly hit that target and back down. David's passing through a full squat and then tossing it back up. And relax for just a second, David. So with this, we want to make sure that when we throw that ball up in the air, we are breathing out. And then as that ball comes down, we're gonna cycle our arms, receiving that ball again. If you guys leave your arms up in the air like you're holding baby Simba, your arms are gonna fatigue very quickly. So we throw it up, drop them in between reps, and then receive the ball again. Focus on your breathing here. It's very rarely that people go to failure because of muscles on wall balls. It's because they're holding their breath. So every time we throw that ball up, we breathe out, and then breathe in, and go down into the squat with your air, breathe out on the way back up. After our wall balls, we are going to our barbell. With our barbell, what we are looking at here is that we are gonna go into 30 cleans. Now, you wanna get the bar moving, so we're gonna go into fast singles here. Once David gets his air back, he feels like he can start stringing reps together, we can begin touch and going these reps. Make sure you guys hit full extension at the top, elbows are clearly in the bar, and then right back at it. Again, we're focused on breathing out as we go up the bar, and relax. Get your air in at the top if you're going touch and go reps so you do not collapse down with empty lungs. We want to make sure we fill ourselves up and we pace our movement to our breathing. That is going to keep you going through this workout. If you get to a place that you're trying to gasp for air in between your reps, take a step back, take a couple deep breaths in, and then get back to work. After we are done with this, we are back to our bar, and now we are going into chin over bar pull-ups. So our chin over bar pull-ups, David utilizes a very nice kip on this. We're gonna hop up. He's gonna pass through his kip and get that chin over the bar. and relax and drop. A couple things here, we want to make sure that those knees, just like with our toes to bar, our kipping knee raise, our heels get behind the bar in between reps. If you guys are shot at this point, your grip is gone, your core is gone, go to singles here. So if we go singles, it's going to look like this. David passes through that full range of motion, up, and he drops. He's going to shake his hands out, he's going to go right back up, he's going to go into another rep, and you can chip away and relax at those reps so that you have time to get back to your rower. This entire workout is made to try to gas you so that when you get to the pull-up bar, you can't do anything. So pace yourself accordingly so that you can work on the pull-up bar and get right back into that second round to get the best score possible. Thank you so much, best of luck, and we will see you next week for some more tips and tricks. Athletes, welcome back. The Open has started. This is our first week. We're in 23.1. We were talking about the Foundations division, and we got the man of the hour, Philip Gentry. Philip just completed the workout, and we are here to give you the best chance possible, do the best job you can in this workout. So Philip's going to go ahead and take a seat on the rower. With the Foundations division, what we have is that instead of 60 calories, we've got 60 strokes on the rower. So what you guys are going to do is strap yourself in. You're going to go ahead and grab the rower handle, and Philip is going to count the number of reps that he does. When we do this, this is full body, just like we would do any other time that we're rowing, including extending our legs and then pulling back. We return that handle back in, and then our legs. Once he gets to 60, we're going to move on to the next movement. A couple points here. Make sure that you are breathing out when you pull. So breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and make sure that we are getting full extension and driving with those legs. Don't put this all on your arms because we're going to be using that in just a little bit. Go ahead and relax. Once we get done here, Philip is going to step out of the rower, and he is going to make his way onto his sit-ups. Now, for our sit-ups, Philip has 2 dumbbells set up so that he can hook his feet underneath. An ab mat is allowed to be used. If you don't have an ab mat, you guys can take a towel, roll it up, and put it behind your back. Philip is going to touch the ground behind his head. He's going to sit up and touch his feet. A couple things here is that we want to make sure that we're exhaling as we sit up and throw those arms. Use your arms to your advantage when you go through this. If you don't have arms into it, you're losing a lot of momentum that will assist you in sitting up. If you want to make a noise when you sit up, you can, if it gets you pumped up. After we get done with these, we can move down our difficulty here from ab mat sit-ups into sit-ups to our knees. So what we're going to do is that he's going to touch the ground behind his head, sit up and touch his knees, and right back down. Don't hold that top position. Just go right back into your next rep. And relax there for me, Philip. Our lowest difficulty level here, if this is too difficult for us, is we can grab a chair and we can have a seat here. On our chair, what we're going to do is that Philip is going to hang on to that chair in a seated position, and he's going to bring those knees to his chest and back down to the floor. So we can touch the floor in between each rep. So you choose the difficulty that works best for you so that you can maintain intensity. Once we get done here, Philip's going to go ahead and stand up for me. And after we are done with our sit-ups, we are going to our wall ball. Now, in the studio, what we have is that we've got targets that are mounted here. As advice in the official rules, take the bottom of your target and set it to the target height. That way, any portion of the target that you hit is going to be that recommended height. He's going to step up to this wall ball, and he is going to pass through a full squat, throwing that ball up to the target. Perfect rep every single time. We want to make sure that hip crease gets below our knees. When we're going through this, Philip's going to exhale on the way up and breathe in when we're going down. Now, one thing that you noticed that Philip did was he cycled his arms. It's a mistake a lot of people make to keep their arms up in the air. So we always want to think that when we throw that ball up in the air, cycle your arms and meet the ball again. Go right down into your next rep. Difficulty-wise, if the prescribed movement is too hard, we're going to pick that ball up and we're going to go into a wall ball thruster. So a wall ball thruster looks like this. We bring it into the support position. We go to full extension of the hips, knees, and arms, and then right back down. And relax for me, Philip. After we are done with our wall balls, we are moving on to the clean. Now, for the clean, we have a couple difficulty options that we have here. We're going to start out with the regular bar. The rules as prescribed, so you start out with a 45, 35-pound bar. On this, you can pick the weight according to what you can handle. So with Philip, we're going to use this empty barbell. We're going to go down to mid-shin, and then he's going to clean the bar up, receiving and standing tall at the top. We want to make sure that hips and knees are full extension, and get those elbows in front of the bar. Don't cheat yourself and keep them back in this T-Rex position. Philip's going to go ahead and give us 2 more reps. Wonderful. Breathing out as we go up, driving with those legs, and relax. And please, if you're using an empty barbell, do your gym owner a favor and don't drop it on the floor. From here, if this is too difficult for us to do, we can set up a pair of parallettes, and we can grab a barbell, or we can grab a lighter bar or a PVC pipe. Philip's going to step in between these parallettes, and now he has a target. He's going to move his hands into his clean position. We're going to go down, make contact with those parallettes, and then clean the bar up to our shoulders again. And take it back down, and back up. Fantastic, and relax. Making sure on our cleans we're keeping those feet flat on the floor during our drive so we get everything out of our legs that we can. And then if this is too difficult for us and we want to modify it a little bit further, Philip's going to step out of the parallettes, and we're going to go into a deadlift. So we're going to take the bar down to mid-shin and stand to full extension, and right back down and up again, breathing out when we're coming up with that bar. So pick the difficulty level that works best for you and challenges you the most without being so hard that you can't continue on through the workout. We're going to set that bar down, and the last and final movement, the coup de grace, is going to be our push-ups. So we're going to do push-ups right over here on the floor. Now for our push-ups, standard here is that you're going to start in a full plank position, arms fully extended. Philip is going to go down to the floor, touching his chest and quads, and come right back up, and back down, and back up, and relax. Now with this movement, make sure that you guys are breathing out when you press, and this is a movement that's very, very easy to burn out on. So we want to make sure that you do some fast, quick sets, get off your arms, shake them out, and get right back into it. From here, if we need to modify this, we can do these push-ups on a bar so that we're going to be full body length, but at an increased angle. The other option that we have is that Philip can do knee push-ups. So we can go down to the floor. He starts on his knees. He's going to go down to the floor, touch his chest, and then right back up. One more, and relax. Fantastic. Now, with this workout, this is one that is meant to try to burn you out. So as you attack each of these movements, do it at your pace and find something that you can do so that you can keep moving throughout. If you get to a place where you feel like you went a little too hot, slow yourself down, take 2 to 3 recovery breaths, and get right back into it. And let's see if we can get to round 2 in this workout. Best of luck. We can't wait to see you next week for 23.2.
All right, guys, we're here with the cooldown. We'll give you some specifics in there as well. We'll include these with links. Always want to do 5-10 minute good flush. Probably a salt or echo bike's gonna be your best bet along with the rower. So you finish on the rower or you use it in the workout, do 3, 4, 5 minutes on that at least. And then if you want to go to the bike just to get in a different movement pattern, get off the rower because you're tired on that. That's what I recommend. You can go even up to 10 to 15. Super good flush. Bring the heart rate down for sure. Do that. After that, you can move into this exact warm up. Cool down.
Cool down. All right, next thing. So first thing up, we're gonna go forearm smash into a forearm stretch, okay? So barbell on the ground here. We're just gonna lay down and relax. Take this barbell, smash the forearms, nice and smooth. You don't have to apply a bunch of overpressure. What we're looking for is just about 1 minute to 2 minutes on each arm. Nice little smash. You can move through some range of motion with the wrist as well. And then after 1 minute to 2 minutes there, we're gonna hop up from there. Go some supination on the ground here. Make sure if we've got any wrist things going on, be careful there. And then we're just gonna kind of rock back and forth towards those heels, opening up the forearms here, okay? And then walking next, we've got a little lat smash here, okay? Same thing, 1 to 2 minutes. Pick a spot, if you've got a tender spot in that lat, we're gonna get that taken care of. Smash down on the roller. What Jake's gonna do as well is work into a little bit of internal, external rotation. Find some soft spots in there, knock those out. Spend about 1 to 2 minutes here, okay?
All right, lastly, we're gonna go to couch stretch. Just because we were on the rower, we squatted some. Lower body is probably not totally trashed in this workout. More upper body endurance. A little squeak, but there. No reason not to do the lat stretch, just get that hip extension back open, make sure we're back to baseline on that. On this one, as always, keep good tension in the core so we're not just overextending the whole way, but even if you got to bend over a little bit like me, keep that flat back. Try to maintain at least 2 minutes each side. This we want to get for minimum for that long-term benefit, so we can finish up with this. If you need anything else extra, open up your lats again, that's fine. Do what you need to do for you, but this should cover the basics for most of this workout. So we'll see you guys on soon. Leaderboard 23.1, go kill it. Thank you, AJ.
Yes, sir. Thank you.